Yes. पानी
तो bottle में डाल दीजिए होगा अच्छा है. You can put in bottle only, I feel.
Okay.
The difference between want and
Unmute.
So, where do we read?
111 we completed last time, bro.
Okay, 1 3. No?
Yes, bro.
Hare Krishna.
We have Sathut Prabhu, Tim Prabhu, Deba Prasanna Prabhu is not feeling well,
Yeah.
Lok Bandhuram Prabhu, and Rahul Prabhu. These are the 5 devotees.
Thank you, Prabhu, for your time and for your enthusiasm. Hare Krishna.
You can keep it little ahead. So that-
ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. नमः ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णकृष्णाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिने. नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वाञ्छात् कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Anand Chaitanya. So this Srimad Bhagavatam is the very jewel of all Vedic literature, and our good fortune to read this is simply incomparable to any other thing in the entire creation. So thank you for having this habit of studying Srimad Bhagavatam. So we are reading today, continuing from where you guys have been reading. I guess it's the third verse of 11th chapter.
Yeah, we completed third last time.
Okay.
But can do it again.
Yeah.
Very beautiful verse.
Yeah. So this chapter number 11 of Canto First, is entitled Lord Krishna's Entrance into Dwarka. And this is the time where this 10th and 11th chapter, they came out of ecstasy of Suta Goswami. So Srimad Bhagavatam was written by Vyasadeva. And it was written by Vyasadeva much before it ever happened actually. Because this incident of Acharya has explained, there is an incident of Suta Goswami explaining, and even before that, Shukadeva Goswami explaining Srimad Bhagavatam. It happened after Vyasadeva wrote this Bhagavatam. So just like Ramayana was written by Sri Valmiki Muni, empowered and blessed by Sri Ramachandra. Similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam was composed by Vyasadeva. Of course, Vyasadeva himself is a Shaktavish avatar, the incarnation of the Lord. So in that way, it only makes sense. So if you see Srimad Bhagavatam Canto number 1, it is just answer to few questions. The few questions which were asked by the sages. So one of the question was, please tell us about Maharaj Parikshit. And please tell us how Maharaj Parikshit and Shukadeva Goswami met each other. So in response to these questions, in chapter number 4, the questions which were asked in chapter number 1, they were answered in 1, 2, 3 only. And the questions which were then raised in 4th chapter. So one of the questions was this. Now to answer about Parikshit Maharaj, that who was Parikshit and how is it that he ended up in that situation of just having those 7 days. Like generally nobody gets a notice. So how did it happen? And then how did he actually meet Shukadeva Goswami? And what happened between them that this Bhagavatam came out? So in response to this question about Parikshit, they start telling how Parikshit was born. Okay. In that way, they start telling about the story of Pandavas. And then, obviously Krishna was there involved, right? So the chapter number 8, where the war happened, and after the war, this Kunti Maharani was offering prayers. Yudhishthir Maharaj was offering his heart's prayers. And you have chapter number 9, where Bhishma Dev, such beautiful description of Bhishma Dev's departure, Bhishma Dev's teachings, including the extraordinary glorification of Lord Shri Krishna as the Supreme Personality of God. Eshavai Bhagwan Sakshat, Adyo Narayana Kuma. Most of the people who are in the Vedic fold, they'll call Narayana as God. But he says Adyo Narayana Kuma. He's the original Narayana. And he also offered them teachings to be able to understand the effect of Kala, or the effect of time in this world. Or as he calls it, the will of the providence. When we wholeheartedly accept the will of the providence, or whatever the Lord desires, whatever is happening in this world, so we become happy, we become very peaceful and blessed and satisfied after trying our best by accepting Lord's will. So after this beautiful description, actually he could have gone directly to like Maharaj Parikshit's birth, which he will describe in the further chapters. But what happens is, because he's a devotee, and because just like you're telling someone about some story, and in middle you get some some very favorite person of yours just comes in middle, okay? So you start adding like adjectives, you know. It's not required, like the story doesn't demand so. You can just narrate the main story anyways. But being a Vaishnava, as soon as Krishna comes in the picture, like he's like, so he takes a detour. Okay. Something like the road could have gone like this, but he just takes like this. like this. So it tells about Krishna leaving from Hastinapur and then Krishna entering Dwarka. If you see in the chronological order, it doesn't make that much sense. Of course, Bhagavatam is always having some sense, but this is totally purely about the bhakti element. He's just glorifying how Krishna's devotees treated him in Hastinapur. And I mean, if you just think about the entire Hastinapur city and all the Pandavas, just like you close your eyes and go back into that zone, that era, that was Vedic India 5,000 years back. And if the story of the Pandavas, so it's like what all struggles they had gone through, like they have survived all those, and they were here, they had the war, 64 crore people have died, and the person who was like their enemy number one since the very childhood, since the very existence they had seen. Okay, this guy along with 640 million people, 640 million. I am sure that must be more than US population, right?
Yes,
Yeah, double. So these many people in 18 days they have died just now. Okay. So after this, you can't just talk about like all these prayers and I mean, even after you defeat someone, like after decades and centuries of enmity, you actually want to again and again prove yourself, right? See, I was right. Just look at this. I had been saying all along. Or you celebrate, like they go for a beer party, right? Or you talk about so many things. You talk about all your, see, then I did this, and then see, he defeated him, and he, like you. I mean, if you read these chapters, like Kunti Maharani's prayers, Bhishma Dev's teachings, which happened right there only. Kunti Maharani's prayers and Bhishma Dev's teachings happened right there on that very field. And then you read these chapters like 10th and 11th, which are just happening few days after. There's no sign of war talk. There's no sign of post-war like stories or any sign of that. What does this show? This shows that even amidst all the ups and all the downs, even amidst all the turbulences, their focus, their heart was always with Krishna. That is the glory of Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna comes, so it says Paritranaya Sadhunam Vinashaya Dushkritam. Vinashaya Dushkritam is just a detail. That he comes to annihilate the demons and all. For Krishna, the focus of all his life, for eternity, is to have loving exchanges with his devotees. Because that's their focus. What is the proof that Pandavas were not inimical, Pandavas were not revengeful? Their hearts were not filled with malice, even though they were ill-treated like anything. The proof is, the Lakshanam is that even after the war, they gave all the respect and all the facilities and all the good exchanges to Dhritarashtra and his wife Gandhari. Even though their family, their sons had done all this, and they had sanctioned it all along. So this is the nature of Krishna Katha. That sometimes devotees try to figure out some lessons from everything. So that's fine, but what is the point here? The point is Krishna Katha, just glorification of Krishna. For Vaishnavas, that's the thing. So this 10th and 11th chapter are something like that. It's just glorification of Krishna and his devotees. Sometimes devotees in the Hare Krishna movement, they say, I've got higher taste in Mridangam, I've got higher taste in Prasadam. Actually, honestly speaking, these may be fine, but the way Acharyas describe higher taste, what's that? They describe higher taste to be two things especially. One is, higher taste means when you delight in hearing about the glorious character and qualities of the personality of Godhead. Oh, Krishna is so Komala. I mean, he's not like a having six-pack things and all. No, I lift him over. And Krishna is so knowledgeable. Like whenever he speaks, it becomes Vedavakya. And Krishna is so compassionate. Look at how he treats his devotees. You know, he just wants to see the endeavor part. He just wants to see little affection. Even if there is none, he sees, okay, Putana did some kind of seva to me, like a mother. So let's make her mother. So this is one higher taste. Because when the devotee becomes totally enamored in his heart about Krishna's personality, his character, his qualities, then just like in Zoom, you have this fade option, background gets faded. Similarly, everything else in this material world becomes faded. It's there for you, but doesn't affect you. As they say in Bible, be in this world but not of this world. So it says in the Bhagavad Gita, Padma Patra Ivambasa, just like a lotus flower is there in the middle of the muddy pool, it doesn't get affected. Because the lotus leaves have that quality. Any liquid just glides down immediately. It doesn't actually come in contact. So this is one kind of higher taste. And second higher taste is to celebrate the bonds of love between the Lord and devotees, the devotees and devotees. So when you see devotees having that love in their heart, any pastime you take, especially of Krishna, but even so of Lord Rama, Lord Narasimhadev, Jagannath Ji, or Lord Narayan and all his avatars. So if you just analyze what's happening between them, like for example, if you take fourth canto, then Prithu Maharaj, out of his love for Krishna, out of his love and submission to Brahmaji, who was a representative of Krishna, he just immediately agrees. In fact, he says he's begging forgiveness. Why? Okay, because he says, "Oh, I was fighting for," even though he had the right cause. Okay, he had the authority, he had the right cause, he had the right attitude. Everything was right. So the situation demanded him to fight. He was right, and he was chastised. What is this called? This is called bhakti. Because his point was to please Krishna. So even Lord Narayan, when he came, he just kept staring. Like he was resting his one hand on Garuda Dev's shoulder. He was just staring at the face of this Prithu. What kind of devotee is this? He's so amazing. Just like the description comes in 8th canto of Ambarish Maharaj. He's being looked at by Durvasa. Kis mitti ke, what on earth are you made up of? There's a saying in Hindi, kis mitti ke bane ho? Like you seem to be a normal bottle, but you're a magic bottle, unlike all the other bottles. So he says, what are you devotees? Like in 6th canto, there is a description of there's a glorification of Chitraketu. This glorification is done by Lord Shiva to Parvati. So Parvati is cursing Chitraketu for a little apparent mistake, disproportionately, that too judgmentally. And I mean, she shouldn't have done, but it's the arrangement of the Lord. And then Lord Shiva is glorified. Oh, Devi, you have, of course he's like little sarcastic, but he's glorifying actually. His wife, she's his wife, he can't just chastise him. He'll have trouble later on in the household. So, but he's sarcastically telling her, oh, you've done nice, huh? Nice curse you have given. But he got affected. No, yeah, they don't get affected. They're Vaishnava. So your purpose was to affect him, to agitate him, to disturb him, to trouble him. Nothing's going to happen. They're Vaishnavas, Baba. In no situation they get affected. Why? Because they're always remembering Lord Narayan and thankful to him. So, and that verse became like one of the best verses of Srimad Bhagavatam ever. Right? In fact, it is one of the signature verses which describes Vaishnava's character. Narayana parasarve na kutaschana bidyati Swarga Pavarga Narkeshu Apitulyartha Darshan. That you send a devotee who is surrendered to Lord Narayan completely, you send him anywhere, in any situation. Okay. Whatever be the situation, he'll be happy and satisfied in his heart. Why? Because he knows Lord Narayan loves him. So this bond of love, like the competition between the devotee and the Lord, to glorify each other, to serve each other, you know. So this is the higher taste actually. First one about the personality of Lord, and second one about the loving bonds. And that is why the devotee, when he falls in love with these both this Lord and the devotees, he wants to serve. He wants to become servant of the servant. So because he finds the fulfillment of his existence, the perfection of his existence in that. So these two chapters are actually purely just for that purpose. They're not exactly the mainstream chapters, but that's the glories of devotees like Sudha Goswami and Shukadeva Goswami. So, and that is the reason Shukadeva Goswami never pronounced the word Radha or Radhe or Radhika, because if he ever did it, then Bhagavatam would have stopped there, because he would have gone into ecstasy. And this, someday that day can be ours. When these things could become like that, have that effect on us. Like when Srila Prabhupada would hear the scores of book distribution, so he would get well. He would say, "This is my medicine." When I first time heard this, I said, "What? How like?" How? But actually, as you go on realizing that how their joy is to see Krishna's glories being spread. So Radhesham Prabhu, his eyes become bigger when he sees young boys taking up to Krishna. And if someone says, I want to become a full-time devotee, like I want to dedicate my life, he will, like, sometimes the lovers they have, whatever you say, like I'll do, everything is fair in love and war. In Hindi, they say like, I'll get even moons and stars, all for you. Radhesham will go all bonkers for says, I want to serve Shilpa. So let's actually read. Actually, by glorifying the Bhagavatam and the speaker, we get their blessings. Just like Srila Prabhupada himself has glorified Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the beginning, in the introduction of Srimad Bhagavatam. Why? Because he knew that Bhagavata Padiya Bhagavata Sthana. Bhagavatam can be best understood, can be best accessed when we study it under a person who is trying to apply those teachings sincerely. So that's called as a person Bhagavat. So what to say of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the perfection of Bhagavatam, as an example. So Mahaprabhu's blessings, Mahaprabhu's inspiration as an example, and Mahaprabhu's teachings. Through them, a person can really actually study Bhagavatam. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada almost like 40-50 odd pages or so. He just gives a brief life sketch of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And one may wonder, why would he do that? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself is a personification of Srimad Bhagavatam. So when Srila Prabhupada, when he taught the Gita, when he taught Srimad Bhagavatam, the entire world accepted like the sponge accepting the water, right? When you have that paper, your toilet paper, or it's put it on a wet surface and it just absorbs the water. Right? So many people just absorb Krishna consciousness. Because Prabhupada was such a powerful person, Bhagavat. He was a living Bhagavat. So let's read. So you already read the first 3 verses. In the first 10 verses of this chapter, the description is how Dwarkavasis very enthusiastically, very lovingly, they receive Krishna. And Acharya has explained that in our heart also. When Krishna comes, when we receive, how we receive him in our life, how we receive him in our heart. So there is in 13th chapter of first canto, you will find Vidura returning to the Pandavas after the war. So he left during the war because anyway he was like expelled by Duryodhana and party. And second, he didn't want to, it was a family feud for him. Like both sides were family. He didn't exactly want to take sides. But definitely wanted to see Dharma win. And so that's what happened. So he returns back to the loving Pandavas from his pilgrimage. And when he returns, the Bhagavatam describes how they welcomed him. So they didn't just welcome him, they didn't just like treat him like, hey, where were you gone? When the time came of need, you went away. No, nothing like that. They were having tears. The tears were like their eyes were brimming with, flooding with waters. And these tears were of, oh, our great Vidura uncle has come. And now he will tell us about Krishna. He has been visiting all these pilgrimage places. And he's a person who's himself the knower of Dharma, he's the knower of Shastra. And he loves us. Heart is not having discrimination, material discrimination between the living entities. He's a well-wisher of everyone. He's a lover of the Supreme Lord. So they just like whatever they were doing in their palace, they just ran outside. Sometimes one sannyasi was telling that he said that there are one or two very big temples in our ISKCON world. He said when I go there, it's very nice. Like they send a very elite car to receive at the airport, and he said like everywhere prasad is there, nice prasad, whatever you can think of, like they will give you, and very nice room, everything very nice, and whatever time you want to stay, how long you stay, very good. But he says there are some other centers I feel more happy to go there. Why? Because he says there I may not get all this elite car and other things. So there I get the devotees who are very warmly they receive, and they are very eager to hear. They sit, they're willing to sit for hours, and they're eager to hear whatever their social situation allows. So that eagerness to hear, and when he goes, so like they're very, they don't want him to go. So they see him off also with gratitude. He says sometimes they just give a small photo of Radha Krishna, and on the back of it they're handwritten, thank you so much for this, and and so they want to commit themselves more to Krishna. So he says, I want to 100 times over, I want to go to that place again. Although it may be because this is the joy of Krishna and his devotee. Right? So how Krishna is received, this is love, this is bhakti. So sometimes they feel like, emotional people or sentimental people, or like ladies and kids, bhakti is for them. Mayavadis say like that. Actually, bhakti is for people who have rich heart. It's not like bhakti is not for people who are intellectuals or who are very capable. Intellectuals or not, capable or not, talented or not, whatever, in whatever situation of life, okay, like materially successful or not, bhakti is for people with rich hearts. So this is such a chapter. Yeah. So how do you read to, like, you recite the verse and then you...
Yes, we recite it. The speaker only recites it, and we recite it after. And then yeah. But we can start with translation.
No, you recite.
Okay.
And one devotee can read the translation, and then we can discuss this.
Okay. Sure. Tatrupanita balayo रवेर्दीपम् इवाधृता आत्मारामं पूर्णकामम् निजलाभेन नित्यदा प्रीति उत्फुल्लमुखा प्रोचु हर्षगद्गदया गिरा पितरं सर्वसुहृदम् अवितारम् इवार्भका
Anyone else who can read? Translate loudly.
Translation. The citizens arrived before the Lord with their respective presentations, offering them to the fully satisfied and self-sufficient one, who, by his own potency, incessantly supplies others. These presentations were like the offering of a lamp to the sun. Yet, the citizens began to speak in ecstatic language to receive the Lord, just as wards welcome their guardian and father.
Purport. The Supreme Lord Krishna is described herein as Atmarama, is self-sufficient, and there is no need for him to seek happiness from anything beyond himself. He is self-sufficient because his very transcendental existence is total bliss. He is eternally existent, he is all cognizant and all blissful. Therefore, any presentation, however valuable it may be, is not needed by him. But still, because he is a well-wisher for one and all, he accepts from everyone everything that is offered to him in pure devotional service. It is not that he is in want for such things, because the things are themselves generated from his energy. The comparison is made herein that making offerings to the Lord is something like offering a lamp in the worship of the sun god. Anything fiery and illuminating is but an emanation of the energy of the sun. And yet, to worship the sun god, it is necessary to offer him a lamp. In the worship of the sun, there is some sort of demand made by the worshipper. But in case of devotional service to the Lord, there is no question of demand from either side. It is all a sign of pure love and affection between the Lord and his devotee. So see what a beautiful verse. So when we offer to Krishna, we are the gainer actually. We stand to gain. There is a saying here in America, in giving, we receive. So when we are giving to someone, we receive. What do we receive? We receive the fulfillment. In a Vedic tradition, on any joyous occasion, like a birthday of someone, or like as they celebrate marriage anniversary or anything, the funda is that like when Lord Balram's birthday was there in Vrindavan, so he was kept back that morning by Mother Rohini, by Mother Yashoda, that you don't have to go today to forest to graze the cows. They say that today you should be here. You should take a special bath with all the natural ingredients to cleanse yourself, and then you should offer very special aratis and prayers to Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Lord. Then you should invite the Brahmanas, the saintly people, and serve them nice prasad. You should go and give special green grasses to the cows. You should go around in the community and you should give like some sweets to the kids. You should go and do some seva to the elders. Do you see what's happening here? Is he taking something or is he giving something? Giving. That's a festival. So when you want to celebrate something, the Vedic culture says you offer. The joy in being a servant is the greatest, because in giving we receive. We receive the love of the people and we receive the love of the Supreme Lord. And when we are habituated to be a servant of others, then what happens? That becomes our very nature, our very character. How can I serve? Prabhupada ever asked only this question to his spiritual master: how can I serve you? How can I serve you? Even in written, the same question. And Saraswati Thakur, of course, he also responded with the same answer. Spread Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings all over the world. So here, as Prahlad Maharaj also described in Canto 7th, that when we offer to Krishna something, we stand to gain. It's like you see when a kid offers something to his parents, it's out of love. So parents want to offer him back everything, isn't it? Because there is no equivalent, there is no price of that love element. When you go to a shopkeeper, when you go to a restaurant, so you may order something, he may give you that, and you pay for that stuff. Can you pay to your mother? Can you pay to a spouse who like very lovingly offers you something? You can never pay. So here the main exchange is that of the love factor. Like when Srila Prabhupada was offered various gifts by his disciples. Sometimes one disciple would come and give something like maybe an article to use, okay, like a pen, with a case. And sometimes a disciple would come and give Rolex watch. Okay, another disciple would come and give him. So Prabhupada would use that, okay, like he would get the pen, so he would keep the pen and say thank you. The next disciple came, he gave a watch of like $50, a simple watch. So Prabhupada would give him the pen as a return gift, and which he just received 2 minutes back. And he would accept the watch and he would wear the watch. Now another devotee has come to have it. He's brought a fancy watch, like a thousands of dollars worth Rolex. And Prabhupada would accept that very gladly, as gladly as he did the previous two. And then remove the first watch, okay, and give him as a gift, loving gift, which is just received 5 minutes back. Put on this watch. Now another devotee may come. One time a devotee came and offered just a bead bag. The devotee had prepared a nice bead bag. Prabhupada accepted. Prabhupada gave whatever he had, like sometimes just a garland. And this is the exchange of love which is there. So the idea is that when we offer something to Krishna, we gain a lot. This funda, of course, one should not calculate actually. Actually, one should not calculate. Like, one should not be desirous of Krishna. But it's Krishna's nature to reciprocate anyways. So, like, if you make a relationship with a person, a relationship of love, so then whatever the person has, it becomes yours. Like you marry someone, you love someone, you marry. Even the parents of that person become your parents, isn't it? Parents-in-law, like father-in-law, mother-in-law. But when you just have a business dealing with someone, at max what you get is some profit. That's all. But when you love the person will open, like they say, make life member. Yeah, you can make that. You can also make member for life. You make the person devotee, love Krishna. He'll give everything. He'll open up his pockets. Isn't it? Like that. That's the beautiful part. So, I heard this funda, like it was told by His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj and many other senior Vaishnavas in our movement. Like there was this devotee in India. So his name, some name. So he joined the temple for a few months, like as a brahmachari, and then he had another inspiration, like so, for his family. So he started, like he got married. Sorry, kind of bear with me. So he, after he got married, like after he got out of the ashram, he took up a job with one IT firm. It was in 1998, 97, 98 something, late 90s. It was a local Indian IT firm, and they were paying him some 10,000-11,000 rupees that time. So he was able to maintain his family in a simple lifestyle, and he was there. It was 3 decades back. He was hardly saving anything. So, but whatever, like his main thing was because he was devotee at heart. I mean, he was devotee anyways, but he actually wanted to serve. I mean, these were like just to maintain the family, to honor the ashram which he was in. But he actually wanted to serve the temple. So he was thinking like, I am working so many hours I am giving to this company, and this company is earning like at least 10 times more through me, like compared to what they're giving me. But what am I able to give to the temple? Nothing, almost nothing, like very less. But he said, I want to serve the temple. I want to serve the Acharya. So then he thought I should only myself start a company. And what is the purpose?
Serve the temple.
Only to serve. So then he went and asked his superiors there and his spiritual master. They said, yeah, it's nice. Like if you're confident, and it's good for you also. It's naturally good if you're able to serve the mission. So then he began. Okay, he launched a firm. And practically in the last like 25 years, 2.5 decades, he became the topmost individual contributor of that time, and one of the topmost individual contributors in the history of ISKCON. I think he has personally donated almost like 250 crores rupees to ISKCON.
Who is the devotee?
His name is Radha Giridhar, very famous in India. So my point is, and you know why it happened? That's the main thing. I didn't tell that. He said, I want to start the company and like I'm able to maintain my family in this 11,000 rupees. So I'll just continue to take that. And the rest, everything, so my company is earning like 90,000, 1 lakh through me. And I am getting only that much. In that, I'm hardly able to give like 500 rupees to it. Whatever, I don't know the amount exactly. But he said like, so if I open my own company, then the rest of the profit also remains with the company and let it go to the temple. So then, his name is Radhanath Maharaj. He told him, he told him, okay, you do one thing. Prabhupada says about 50-50. So you make Krishna your business partner. So if you make him your business, of course, one devotee, like his own Bhakti Charu Maharaj also told this to one devotee who was frustrated with his salesman job, marketing job. He said, I want to like give up and I want to just join the temple. Maharaj said, no. It's a good thought, but you continue your duties to your family. So Maharaj became very tough. He said, Maharaj, I'm thinking to start business. Maharaj said, great, start. No. Maharaj said, why don't you start your own? So he said, okay. But I don't know how it is. Maharaj said, you just make Krishna your partner. It'll run nicely. He said, what do you mean? He said, Maharaj said, business partner is 50-50. Then the devotee thought for 2 minutes. He said, yeah, Maharaj, I'll do that if you say. But sorry to be so vocal about it, but what is Krishna going to do? Like, partner means he should also do half the work. I mean, he'll take half the profit. And what does he bring to the table? He takes from the table. What does he do? So Maharaj smiled mystically. And then they were just talking in the car. So he was driving and Maharaj was sitting beside. Maharaj turned to him and said, I think I won't be able to explain that to you. Best is you just try. And you'll see it for yourself what he does, what he brings to the table. So this guy started, okay. Just put some simple faith and he started. And he was surprised. Maharaj said, if you are destined to like earn like $100, now you're making like $5,000. Why? Because when Krishna is your partner, he brings his luck to the table. And because you want to serve him and his devotees, then Krishna brings some special. So of course, my point here is not about business and all that. My point here is that when we actually serve Krishna, Krishna gives us everything. Everything. When he reciprocates in his capacity. And he reciprocates in such a way that it's even safe for us, like he did with Dhruva. So that's what the acharyas are explaining here actually. That this is called the highest swartha. Name vidu swartha gatim hi Vishnu. Durashayaye bhairarthamani. It says in Prahlad Maharaj's section, Canto 7, that the highest swartha, which is the real swartha, the purest swartha, is to serve Vishnu. Because we get everything. What will Vishnu not give? So Kulishekar Maharaj is chastising his mind. His mind is creating doubts. Hey, you are serving Vishnu, you are just wasting away your time chanting Hare Krishna. You know, what will Vishnu do for you? Will he protect you? Will he, you know, cruise you through the difficult times and all? So actually, he replies, he chastises his mind. Okay, you rascal mind. Mahabhiramanda vichintya bahudha yameshchiram yatana naivami prabhavami paparipava swami nanum sridhara आलस्यं व्यपनीय भक्ति सुलभम ध्यायस्व नारायणं लोकस्य व्यसनापनादन करो दासस्य किं न क्षमा. Arey, you rascal mind, don't you know the character of Krishna? Arey, look at even the atheists and the Mayavadis and others who have even turned their faces away from Krishna. He is arranging things for them also in this material world. Look at how he has treated his devotees in various avatars. Look at even how he has treated anyone who approached him. Just like Vibhishan approached Lord Ram, even though he was from the other side. In fact, they say in Hindi, in India, like a saying which is, any person disloyal or someone who gives you, like someone who deceives you. He's termed as Vibhishan. Ghar ka vidhi lankad hai. That's the saying they say. And if you have a mole in your team, that's like Vibhishan, He'll make your entire dynasty fall away. So, but Lord Ram, how he did it. So when actually, he says to his mind, don't you know his character? You fool, see this, you. And the mind is like, no. And then he says, you rascal, don't speak one word also. I am not going to listen to you. I should listen to Krishna's promises or to you. And you are always frettish about everything. In my previous lives also, when was the time when you actually allowed me to be peaceful? You are always making my life hell. And by the way, we are not ordinary people. We are trying to be his devotees. If he can, love everyone, including all the living entities, despite their turning their faces away from him for millions of lifetimes, we are trying to be his devotees. He delivered Putana. He sent Aghasur back to Godhead. I am trying to be his devotee, Baba. I mean, out of everyone, why will he, Dasasya kim na kshama. I am his das. This is real ego. Who are you? I am Krishna's devotee. More so, I am Krishna's devotee's devotee. Hari bol. So this is real pride, isn't it? So in giving to Krishna, we never lose actually. So when we offer our youth to Krishna, like our youthful time to Krishna, we offer our talents to Krishna in his service. So like, how did we get our youth? Because of previous karma. Like you guys are in one of the best places on the planet. Practically even in America, this is an elite place, right? That's what I heard. I didn't know it was seen like the place, There's someone I met, someone lady, American lady, old lady. She said, where you headed to, young man? I said, San Jose, She said, oh, that's the place. You're going where the bucks are. I said, oh, doesn't look like that, He said, no, don't go where the looks, Most of the Americans given an option would like to settle there. Oh, I said, great. I said, I'm not going to settle. I'm going to unsettle. Actually, first she had asked me about, so I said, she said, oh, are you a saint or something? I said, yeah, I'm trying to be one. And then she was asking, so if you're a saint, why are you going there? I said, I guess to make some more saints. So, anyway, so I'm sorry, I lost my thought process. Why did I tell about this lady? You're sitting in one of the best places, I was talking about. So yeah, like you have a very good education or very good talent. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here, like whether as a student or as a working guy. So you have something extraordinary in your profile, and you have some, abilities. You have some time. You have got youthful body. These are all the results of your pious karma. from previous lives. Now, when you offer it to Krishna as much as possible, or even when we earn money, we offer to Krishna, or we have, like, we cook, we offer to Krishna. Anything we have, we offer to Krishna. So, whatever we have actually does come from our good pious karma, right? Previous lives. Now, this is the best we have. I mean, you guys really have like very good karma. And you are voluntarily offering some of it to Krishna. Krishna, here it is in your service. Like man hours, no? You can do some extra coding or something. There must be some jobs available, right? Like this hourly or online and all that. So you could earn, right? Some extra bucks, $50, $100, right? But instead of that, you are giving it to Krishna every day. Krishna, 2 hours, I'm going to chant your holy names. Krishna, I'm not only going to chant, I'm going to even ask others to chant, inspire others to chant. I'll go to colleges, I'll go to streets, I'll distribute books, I'll hold college programs, I'll even cook for you. I'll welcome your devotees. I read your message, Srimad Bhagavatam. What happens is Krishna feels very grateful. Krishna is one person who does not forget even little bit done to him. Remembers it, especially when it is done out of love, not out of grudge, not out of coincidence, not out of what is that? Not incidentally, whether incidentally, but what to say when it is done intentionally, actually. So Krishna loves being loved, and then he loves loving. Anyway, he loves, but when he's offered some love, because love is one thing which even the Supreme Lord is hungry for. He's satisfied, he's Atmaram, but he's never satiated. Isn't it? The sense gratification of this world is satiating but not satisfying. It's saturating but not satisfying. And the love between the Lord and the devotees is satisfying but never satiating, never saturating. So this is the message Acharyas actually give, that never step back, never hesitate in loving Krishna and serving Krishna. You will never regret. As soon as Bhakti Charu Maharaj would say this, that Srila Prabhupada asked me to offer this one life to Krishna, saying that you offered so many lifetimes to Maya. What happened? Why don't you offer this one life to Krishna? And I did. And he said, last 4.5 decades, he said, I never had to look back and regret. Never ever for even a moment. When I heard these words, like, multiple times from different places, and it touched my heart so much. Because the faith, the joy, 5 decades of dedication. I said, I never had to look back and ever regret the decision of offering to Krishna my entire life. So for a devotee, the best thing which can actually happen to him is an opportunity to offer something to Krishna. And the devotees even offer their kid to Krishna. You have this guy, Prem Nitya Prabhu. He always says, Prabhu, I want to offer my child Raghunath to Krishna. Before this guy came out only of his mother's womb, I said, Baba, he's free will, then you need to. And you are also a devotee. You can also be a devotee like you. No, you should be like, in the temple only. That's correct. But look at Krishna, even by the very thought, even by the very desire, Krishna becomes so pleased. He starts dancing in ecstasy. Look at my devotee. That Lord Vishnu, he had this devotee in one place, and this Brahmana he made hot sweet rice, and like he was testing, not tasting, like testing, whether it's proper temperature to offer. And it like so hot, and his finger got burned. And Lord Narendra, just see. So, the love actually. Sometimes Lord only says to the devotee, hey, devotee, offer prayers. The devotee is not much knowledgeable. Like he has love, but not. So then Lord Vishnu only tells him, you offer this prayer, like I bless you with the knowledge. But somebody may say, what is his joy? Like in the joy is the devotee offers with love. Like a child's example Prabhupada gives. Child takes flower from the mother father's garden only, It's a very beautiful. Sometimes the mother feeds the child. Child sometimes picks up and feeds mother. That's very special for mother. Even click photos and all. When I remember I studied like most of my life in outside my home, like another place. So sometimes I would like buy something from that place in the holidays to go back to home and give back to my parents. Like what value it may have monetarily, very less as compared to what they are spending on me, and it is their money only. But it becomes so special. Like a mother and father would show them, see, ye laya tha, like this guy had brought us this and that. So that joy is there, and there's nothing which can compare to that. So, anyways, I already went overboard. So, these verses are the series of verses where giving to Krishna, offering to Krishna with love, with deliberation. That is being glorified here. And for a Gaudiya Vaishnava, Krishna, Maro bhi rakho bhi, jo ichha to hai. Krishna Mata, Krishna Pita, Tuva Adhikar. Doesn't matter. Whatever way you want to treat. I'll serve you anyway. Dashlishya Padaradam Penashtumam. Whether you accept me or reject me, embrace me or kick me. Hanuman ji was offered everything by Lord Ram. And Lord Ram finally gave him his embrace. What will I give you? Anything from this existence, from this creation? Even Lord Ram said, highest is my own love. Better I give you that. And what did Hanuman ji say? I want more service. This is totally an antithesis of anything which the materialistic people can ever imagine. Right? I mean, what's the profit, man? Why would I do that? Why would I do anything? The Goswamis were condemning themselves. Once in 3 days, they were drinking buttermilk from the palm. And they were condemning themselves. See, I'm a sense gratifier. I should be serving these moments also, Krishna. And these moments, and 1.5 hours they would take rest. In a day, like in the night. And Raishambhu gets agitated. If you waste like more than few seconds in setting up the projector or something, he gets agitated. These moments could have been utilized in Krishna's way. Because he might not be telling you guys like in that way. He gets agitated. This is given in NOD, that avyartha kalatvam is a real symptom. You will not see actually hair standing on head. Sometimes you see great soul also feeling tired. That's physical fatigue. The actual bhakti ecstasy, is namagane sadaruchi, avyartha kalatvam. Like you've seen the actual lakshanas, actual symptoms which are given in the Shastra. Anyway, it's not good to go overboard actually. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam. Jai. Prabhupada. Jai. Nitai Gaur. Thank you.
We will continue tomorrow. Okay, so Hare Krishna, dear devotees, if you have any reflections, you can share on the group. Otherwise, we'll continue tomorrow.
Hare Krishna Kotuk Prabhu. Hey, could I make one reflection now?
Yeah.
Please.
This is a prayer I want to have in private, but I want to offer it now so that all the other devotees assembled that benefit from Prabhu's association may also make this prayer. We're praying that Krishna brings his luck to the table so that this Prabhu can come and make more saints. Thank you for hearing this request.
Haribol.
Haribol. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Thank you.
Prabhuji is going to be here until Sunday. So if anybody would like to have personal association. Also Sunday evening we have a program at our apartment, 7 p.m. Please let me know if you want to come through. Hare Krishna.